Perhaps the seventh time is the charm. Muskogee is taking up a mask mandate vote again. Why some think today is the day, despite the fact that it's already failed so many times.
Some new developments in a pastor's fight against coronavirus, his improvements, and the thank you his family has for Tulsa healthcare workers.
Thanksgiving during a pandemic, the thousands of turkey dinners one Tulsa mission is handing out today, and how they're making the process safe.
Covering news that matters. Fox 23 News This Morning starts right now.
Good morning. Welcome to Monday. I'm Michelle Lynn.
And I'm Ron Terrell. It is 4:30. We've got live team coronavirus coverage this morning with Muskogee looking at a mandate once again and a Tulsa pastor making some big improvements in the hospital.
We've also got big news, a vaccine update with a third viable vaccine now joining the fight. Those stories in just a moment, but first you're waking up to a cold start and some fog out there. Meteorologist Michael Sager is tracking the chance for some freezing fog in spots.
Yeah, we've got temperatures.
Happening today, Muskogee city leaders are meeting for the sixth time to vote on a mask mandate. Fox 23's Scott Martin is live explaining why it hasn't passed so far and the plan to change that.
Yeah, Michelle, some councilors say that it infringes on basic human rights, but the mayor says he's confident that the city council will pass. We're live this morning covering news that matters. I'm Scott Martin, Fox 23 News.
Also today, Sand Springs city leaders scheduled a special meeting to discuss their COVID-19 emergency plan. That meeting scheduled for 6 tonight. They've shifted it to the Case Community Center gymnasium to allow for social distancing. You can see the chairs spaced out. Police chief and COVID-19 response coordinator Mike Carter says the case rate there is up 256% since October. They could vote on a face mask mandate tonight. Let's take a look now at the latest coronavirus numbers in Oklahoma. The State Department of Health reported another big jump in cases with more than 3,400 new cases announced yesterday. The total now tops 174,330 since March. 10 more people died. So far during the pandemic, 1,634 Oklahomans have died. There are well over 32,000 active cases right now.
New this morning, we may have a third viable vaccine to fight the coronavirus. Pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca announced the results of their late-stage COVID vaccine. The study found taking half a dose of the vaccine followed by a full dose 1 month later was 90% effective. AstraZeneca is one of the companies receiving assistance under Operation Warp Speed. A local pastor is showing signs of improvement after a difficult battle with COVID-19. He's been in the hospital for almost 40 days. Fox 23's Amanda Gilbert is live at the Park Church of Christ with how the community is rallying behind him.
Yeah, it's a good story, Ron. I spoke with Shannon and Mitch at 5. Reporting live, covering news that matters. I'm Amanda Gilbert, Fox 23 News.
The Broken Arrow Public School District has announced a new plan for students after Thanksgiving break. Students who transitioned to distance learning because of increased COVID cases in the community were expected to return to the classroom November 30th. The district has decided only pre-K through 5th grade students will return then. 6th through 12th graders will remain in distance learning until Monday, December 14th.
We are hearing from the owner of a local food truck affected by the state's new rules for bars and restaurants. Almost every weekend for the past 13 years, the Dog House has had a strong presence downtown. Owner Josh Lynch says they're losing money and feels Governor Kevin Stitt's new order forcing bars and restaurants to close at 11 p.m. isn't fair without some sort of financial aid to go along with it.
We're all feeling beat up, singled out. It's almost, like, does COVID come out at 11:01? Like, you can't catch it before 11, but at 11:01, you better be, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make any sense.
He's planning to offer takeout orders from a storefront at 37th and Elgin starting December 4th.
We're getting a look at one of 3 suspects accused in the shootings of a teen and a young man at a Broken Arrow McDonald's. Police arrested Keyshawn Ballard in Muskogee on Friday. Ballard, along with Garrett Medlock and Joshua Smith, are accused of shooting a 17-year-old and a 21-year-old in a McDonald's parking lot last week. We brought you this as breaking news on Fox 23. Authorities say it started as a drug deal. Both victims are still recovering.
A Tulsa man pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter in federal court. Harlan Hardiman was accused of punching Barry Harrell at a bus terminal in September. Harrell hit his head and later died at the hospital. Hardiman's sentencing is now set for the end of February. The case is being handled in federal court because the land it happened on was declared Indian territory after the recent McGirt Supreme Court ruling.
We're learning more about the fire and explosion in Owasso that killed a man and injured his mother and 3 firefighters.
We were live on the scene of this breaking news Thursday night. It happened at a home in a neighborhood near 76th Street North and 129th East Avenue. Owasso firefighters say they were able to help an elderly woman out of the home.
When they went back inside to get her son out of the burning home, the oxygen tank he used exploded.
When it ruptured, it threw one firefighter into an adjacent room and the other one out on the front porch.
Both firefighters were taken to the hospital, as well as a third who got knocked to the ground out front. They are all back home now. Firefighters say the man who died was smoking while using oxygen. They say you should never do that, and the combination caused the initial fire that led to the explosion.
Tulsa police continue looking for the suspect who shot and killed a 19-year-old. Officers say the shooting happened at an Airbnb in North Tulsa. Friday night, just before 10 p.m., officers say Desmond Clayton was shot several times during a party with about 25 others. Neighbors say they heard the gunshots and saw several young people scatter, screaming, "He's dead." Police say they don't know if the suspect was attending the party. The city of Tulsa is reminding you about some Thanksgiving closures this week. City Hall, Municipal Court, and other city facilities will all be closed Thursday. There's no trash pickup on Thanksgiving Day, so Thursday customers will have their trash picked up Friday. Then customers will have their trash picked up Saturday if they were a regular Friday pickup. Tulsa Transit won't operate Thursday, but will go back to its regular schedule Friday. You'll find a popular Brookside restaurant in a new location next year. We stopped by Mondo's Italian restaurant near 34th and Peoria. The owner says they bought Crow Creek Tavern, which is about a block away. He says they're excited for the move and glad they can stay in the Brookside neighborhood.
My dad opened Mondo's in 1969. We have a great clientele base. We're rooted here in Brookside. We live here in Brookside. We want to stay in Brookside, and we're looking so forward to owning our own business.
He says they plan to tear down the Crow Creek building in January and build a new restaurant that'll feature an outdoor bar and rooftop dining. They hope to be open by next summer. Popular place. It's cold out there this morning, and I noticed a lot of fog on my drive in, Michael.
Yeah, that fog will be an issue for some of us. We'll keep those temperatures up for us tonight. But mention that rain chance tomorrow where we could get a couple stronger storms, and a look at what we can expect into Thanksgiving Day in about 2 minutes.
Right now, 4:41 is the time. You're probably washing your hands more, but how about your nose? Michelle sat down with a doctor to learn how nose sanitizing works. An art exhibit encouraging you not to look. What the artist says you'll see with your eyes closed. Reaching the community while touching as little as possible. The changes one mission made to safely hand out thousands of turkey dinners today.
444 happening today. The John 3:16 community will give out thousands of food baskets for people in need ahead of Thanksgiving. Fox 23's Amanda Harry is live outside the mission's Family and Youth Center in North Tulsa with what we expect to see out there later this morning.
Michelle, John 3:16 has done this event in the past. Amanda Harry, Fox 23 News.
The coronavirus is impacting so many events, including Toys for Tots.
Organizers say toy drive events are down about 50% compared to previous years.
And with COVID-19 impacting so many families financially, they're receiving more requests for gifts than ever before.
To help out, Jim Glover Chevy's doing several toy drop-offs.
December 5th, it's a Saturday. The Tulsa area Jeep owners are coming through the parking lot of the new Jeep store. We're kind of doing a drive-through toy drop-off. And then the Corvette owners, Tulsa Vet Set, and the Camaro owners are supporting the Chevy store on the 12th.
The Jim Glover Chevy and Jeep dealerships will also be donating $25,000 to Toys for Tots. It's always so much fun to buy toys at Christmas, especially both of us. Our kids are bigger now. They don't want toys. So it's fun to have an excuse to go get a truck or a Barbie or a doll.
And right now, especially with the pandemic, things are so bad for so many families that they just need that extra boost through the holidays.
Yeah, you want to make it special for the kids. You'll find colorful new artwork downtown. Oklahomans for Equality is holding an art exhibit for local artist Hill Taylor. Take a look. The installation is titled Shut your eyes, and it imagines how we process and remember color when our eyes are closed.
What I like about the art and the artist is that it's just like organic, and it just kind of it's open to interpretation, because like art is subjective, and I think everyone can find something to love about each piece.
Beautiful. 30% of art sales will benefit the Dennis R. Neal Equality Center, and the artwork will be up for the next week through Monday, November 30th.
We've had breezy conditions over the past week in Green Country.
Yeah, it was crazy windy last week. At the Gathering Place, you could not only feel the wind, you could also hear it. I like it. For more than a week now, people have enjoyed this unique art installation called Wind Chimes, Songs of the Wind.
Through the end of November, you'll be able to find dozens of wind chimes hanging from trees in the Ramble Sensory Garden. The Gathering Place says your sense of hearing will love this musical masterpiece created by nature. You got one more week to enjoy that.
Yeah, and I bet it sounded a little nicer this weekend, then a little quieter, calmer, more serene over the weekend than it did last week when we had crazy strong winds. Might be a little loud, like a rock concert of wind chimes last week. Fog out there this morning, and it's cold, Michael.
Yeah, we've got a chilly start. We've got some fun in about 10 minutes.
The time now 4:50.
There's so many people not doing it because I think it was implemented wrong. It needs to be a hard line of you wear a mask or you get fined.
Pushing back against the governor's order forcing bars and restaurants to close at 11 p.m., the loophole a Tulsa Gentlemen's Club is using to stay open later.
Your ability to be reinfected is just as high as your ability to be infected, depending on your behavior.
Not in the clear why the Tulsa Health Department director says even if you've already had coronavirus, you still need to be very careful.
What Sergeant Marshall experienced was not temporary. You know, we're never going to see him again, and it hurts that we lost a brother and a friend.
Remembering a fallen Oklahoma Air National Guardsman, how his friends honored him with this weekend's Williams Route 66 Marathon.
People in Tulsa came together to honor Sergeant Marshall Roberts.
He was the Oklahoma Air National Guard's first fallen airman. We told you when his base in Iraq was hit by rockets in March.
Several members of the 138th Fighter Wing ran the Williams Route 66 Marathon Sunday to honor him.
We spoke with Tech Sergeant Corey Shaw, who finished the race in just 3 hours and 20 minutes.
We're a team, we're brothers and sisters, and seeing that cross the finish line just really breaks you down.
Marshall's wife, Chrissy, this is a look, joined with their daughter carrying the 219 flag. That's the squadron her husband was part of. Oh, it's just gut-wrenching. We'll hear more from Tech Sergeant Shaw in our next hour. A big thanks to the many people across the area who supported our radio partner KRMG's Stories of Light fundraiser.
We brought you live coverage from LaFortune Park last week as people dropped off donations to support the important mission of the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
So far, they've raised more than $232,000. There's still a way for you to donate. Simply text WISH to the number on your screen, 70123.
Right now, 4:55 is the time. Muskogee has failed repeatedly to pass a mask mandate. Who's working to make sure it doesn't fail again? A Tulsa pastor continues to make progress as he recovers from the coronavirus. The long road still ahead.